Welcome to the I-80 Club and another edition of Before the Witching Hour, the Week 7 edition of the pod. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster wearing a cape, wearing sunglasses. I can't even tell what the hat is. Has his Bears jersey on. He's ready to go. How are you, Matt?
I'm incredible. This is Chicago Wolves. It's a minor league hockey team in Chicago that I grew up going to. So go Wolves.
Shout out to the Wolves.
I'm doing great. Can you do you see we're in a new setting? Do you
Look at this. Is this your bedroom? Is that multiple Adele posters behind you?
This is my Adele vinyl collection. So I still need to get 19. That's the only vinyl I don't have.
Okay.
But I've collected all of her vinyl. She's my favorite artist. So, and then right there, that's a CM Punk. You know who that is? He's a wrestler. That's a
I've heard the
him.
name. Yeah.
Then,
you got your Nirvana poster.
There's my Nirvana poster. Love Nirvana.
Excellent.
So there you go. This is my room. I bought a desk. Oh my God.
Look at this. You
Matt
don't
McMaster.
Sound as echoey. You're an adult now, man. This is great.
Adult purchase. Now, don't look down there. There's a lot of stuff.
And there's still the Bud Light koozie that's on the microphone. But we're getting there.
There's a whole thing here. I mean, so my bed used to be like where my bed used to be is like where I'm sitting right now.
Sure.
And this whole week has been like adjusting this room and cleaning things out and getting rid of some stuff. So it is an absolute disaster behind me and downward. Sure. But just for the shot, I made sure I logged in yesterday and I made sure that the shot looked good. So this is what we're working with. So look at
this. Look at this.
I'm gonna take the sunglasses off because it sucks.
All right. So, well, welcome in everybody. Joke. Connor writes in the Discord server, "Oh shit," and he has a photo of you with your mouth agape, with the whole setup behind you. This is great.
I know. This is
absolutely awesome.
You are seeing me grow up in real time. In real time, you are seeing me take steps a normal human would take.
You'll get there. Well, we appreciate it. And we appreciate everybody joining us. This is the I-80 Club. If you randomly stumbled upon this because of the algorithm, we very much appreciate you. If you're here you usually are, we also appreciate you. I, of course, am Josh Peterson from 1620 The Zone and the I-80 Club here in Omaha. Matt is the same person. He is also of 1620 The Zone, and he does this show with me each and every Sunday, and we get you ready for the NFL through the lens of what Matt is interested in, and usually it's the same games that I am interested in. One of the games he wanted to talk about was Rams-Jaguars. That game is going on right now. Matt, the Rams just scored a third touchdown, and so pending the extra point, they will be up 21-0.
It's current, so I have my TV right behind my computer, so I'm watching the game right now. Lovely. I know it's a sick setup. It's awesome. Fuck this. This is dumb.
Wow.
This is stupid.
So you had Jacksonville and Jacksonville plus the points?
Do you know why I'm saying F this? Do you know why I'm mad right now?
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Because relatively speaking, this is not the best slate. Okay?
Sure.
It's not a bad one, but it's not like Miami's playing Cleveland. I don't care. Okay?
Yeah.
The bad Vegas Raiders are playing the Chiefs. I don't care. Carolina is playing the Jets. I don't care. New England is going to kick the crap out of Tennessee.
Yes, they are.
Philly and Minnesota might be an interesting game, but
that's on the list. So it's definitely an interesting
because of injuries than it is. I think they are either of them are actual threats at this point. I mean, maybe it's can the Eagles get it back around? Maybe, but they're hurt, so that's tough. This should be the game that is carrying the noon slate. This should be the hey. Two good teams, very interesting. AFC versus NFC. You kind of can see how the two conferences are putting against each other because you have two of the top. This should be the marquee game of 12 o'clock. Yet it's in London and it's at 8:30, and it's annoying. Yeah. It's annoying.
Yeah. I looked it up, Matt, because I didn't know how many. And by the way, it looks like they were called down at the 1 yard line. So now the Rams will attempt to score.
Go, Kyron. Go, Kyron. Go. Get in.
And they do. Did they get in?
No, don't you dare.
Oh, look at that at the half
yard line. They're
going
to sneak it in now. Damn it.
But, Matt, I looked it up. There are two more overseas games, not next week. It's actually 3 weeks from now. And the last two are not really going to be anything important to the playoff race, so at least that's good. It's so weird because I bitch about why aren't these games better, and then they give us a better game, and I'm like, it's stupid. Why is this game at 8:30 in the morning? So I'm just complaining about whatever slop the NFL gives me. I will suck it up, but I don't have to like it all the time.
Look, my stance has been the same on these overseas games. Okay, they were cool when it was 2 or 3 times a year. Now it's God dang it! Oh, it's Devontae. Okay, cool. That's fine. That counts the same.
You're okay with that?
Fantasy
all
football.
Right, there we
Fantasy
go.
football. We got a big game.
So what were you saying? You were fine with it when, and now you hate it because of why?
I was fine with it when it was 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, that's
not
when
when
I was
it's
fine
8.
with it. Not when it's 8. It's too many.
How are you going to feel when it's literally every week once they expand to the 18-game schedule? Then you'll probably really despise it. When we have one of these every single Sunday morning, that's going to suck. Yeah,
I'm not an 8:30 football guy. I told you this. This is the beauty about the NFL is that you wake up early in the morning and you do human activities. You go to church, you go to the grocery store, you get your chores done, and you cram about 7 hours of activities into about 4 hours. You feel accomplished. Then you sit down from 12 o'clock to when Carrie Underwood sings, and you just watch football. Now,
and then do you turn it off when Carrie Underwood sings? Is that when you leave? You're like, all right, see you later, football.
No, that's when I do my homework.
Okay, nice. A little prep boy, Mr. Prep. Getting ready
boy.
for the show. Furl says, let's talk about the Seahawks and why they're one of the best teams in the NFL. That is not on the docket today. Seahawks-Texans, that is a doubleheader. That's the last game of the NFL weekend. That will come tomorrow night as they host the Houston Texans. We will, though, talk about one of the games tomorrow.
Do you have a take on the Seahawks?
I think they're solid. I mean, I definitely think they're a good team. In terms of, so I don't know. In terms of the NFC West, it's obviously down to them, or at least I think it's obvious. It's down to them and the Rams. I think I like the Rams ceiling more, but I also worry that Matt Stafford's back is going to explode at any moment in time.
That's a good point.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Seahawks end up being the team that wins that division. That's kind of my takeaway here in mid-October.
The their defense is awesome. Mike McDonald is an incredible head coach.
Yes,
I will say this.
Absolutely.
It's very surprising to me. Their run game is bad this year. They're like second to last in EPA per play on the run. Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet just have not been effective on the ground, yet they are still winning games. And they are still competing at the top of the NFC, and they nearly beat the Buccaneers. They're going to kill Houston today. They are going
tomorrow.
You mean tomorrow? They're going to kill them. It will be a bloodbath. That Houston Texan offensive line is absolutely terrible. It's almost as if they don't know how to block a stunt, and Mike McDonald will just stunt them to death. So I picked the Seahawks. This is me just piggybacking off of my preseason take that I thought the Seahawks were going to win the NFC West. If I had to bet, I'd probably say the Rams would win the NFC West right now, but they're really good. So there we go. We have a Seahawks fan in the chat. I want to talk Seahawks.
Shout out, Adam. The 5 games that we will be taking a look at today, of course, the games involving our teams, Bears, Saints, Cowboys, Commanders. We will also hit the aforementioned Philadelphia-Minnesota game. We have the Chargers versus the Colts, and we have that great Monday night matchup, or as we in the media say, tilt between the Bucs and the Lions. Matt, where shall we begin on the list of 5 games that we are excited for in the National Football League?
Let's talk Indy Chargers.
Okay, cool. So we'll just kind of bounce around in terms of times then.
Yeah.
This is a 3:05 game, so the national game. Well, it sucks locally, though. I guess it doesn't suck because I pay for Sunday Ticket. It's nice to get my money's worth. The Cowboys-Commanders game I will have to watch with Sunday Ticket. But also on Sunday Ticket at the same time at 3:05 will be Colts and Chargers. Matt, these two teams are so interesting, and I have the wins that they have. So the Colts wins have come against the Dolphins, the Titans, the Raiders in terms of horrible teams. They also have beat the Cardinals with a backup quarterback, no less, and the Broncos in a very strange game where correct leverage, right? Chargers wins. Here are the Chargers wins so far this year. Raiders, Dolphins, bad. Broncos, a better team. And the Chiefs back in week 1. So, I don't know, in a way, I kind of view both of these teams as two sides of the same coin for me, and that is, I trust the Chargers more than the Colts because I trust Jim Harbaugh more than I trust most people in the NFL. But I will admit that neither team has like more than one win that I really, really like. And the Colts wins in particular, I really do not like. The Broncos game is kind of fake, and all of their other wins, and this is why they have such a great point differential, have come against some of the worst teams in the NFL. I'm like hoping that today's game between these two teams can be one where we learn a lot about the Colts and the Chargers and maybe where they are in the AFC hierarchy moving forward.
So, funny enough, I kind of view the Colts in a way like you viewed Indiana football last year in regards to their schedule. Because the bad teams that they've played, they've kicked their ass. Like, they kicked the Dolphins' ass. They kicked the Titans' ass. They killed the Raiders. That Cardinals game was a good game. Like, they were
very wonky.
Yeah. Like, that was competitive, but they ended up, like, winning it when they needed to win it. And I was very impressed with Daniel Jones and his performance in that. The Chargers, I think I'm more – when I've watched the Colts, watching both these teams, I'm more concerned about the Chargers than I am the Colts. I would buy
because of the injuries.
In the Colts. No, well, so have they announced that they're getting Joe Alt back? Because let me see here if he's on my injury report. So he was limited. He was doubtful. He was limited in practice on Thursday. If they don't have Joe Alt today, I would bet the Colts because I think so. Great stat. The Colts, when they get pressure, they're like the sixth best defense in EPA and everything like that. And when they don't get pressure, they're the 26th best defense in expected points added. So now their PFF grade on pass rush is in the middle. It's like 14th. Now, I'm not basing everything off of PFF grades, but like it's been very average. Now they also drafted that Laeti Latu guy out of UCLA last year, and it seems like he's getting things going on the defensive line. So if Alt is out and the Colts get pressure, I think the Colts are gonna have a really good day and a good chance of beating the Chargers. I don't know, man. I can't. The Giants lost to the Chargers. I can get away with like, all right, that's whatever. You're gonna have weird losses. That Washington game was weird. It bothered me.
Washington pulled away late. You know, like it was a pretty close game, and suddenly you look at the final score. It was 27-10, right? Wasn't that the final score of that game?
Yeah, it was 27-10. It bothered me,
so it's
Josh.
like, oh, wow. Yeah.
It irked me. I was like,
and it's happening at the same time the Chiefs are playing better football too, and so you're wondering, it's like, have they already squandered all of the goodwill that they picked up in the first 3 weeks, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like we were sitting here talking about, oh my God, the Chargers are going to have a 4-game lead in 5 weeks, right? When the Ravens and the Chiefs played, we were like, if the Ravens end up winning this game, the Chargers could have this massive lead already. And now you're right, they've squandered that. I don't know. There's just losses that there are some losses where it's like, all right, that was a bad game and that'll happen. And then there's some losses where it's just like it bothers the crap out of you and you don't look at – you scored 10 points against the Washington Commanders defense. It's not like that defense isn't going RoboCops on people. That defense isn't incredible. Like and like you said, it was close. And then the Commanders with a very clearly battered Jaden Daniels who wasn't 100% back from injury goes ahead and pulls away at the end. It irked me. It irked me.
And it should.
And if Alt is out, like that O-line's been bad this year. I mean, and rightfully so, they've been hurt, but I don't know. I think that I like the Colts. I think I'm buying a little bit more stock on the Colts than most people are. And I'm buying stock on Daniel Jones, and if his name wasn't Daniel Jones, he'd be the MVP favorite, but he's not.
Yeah, maybe you're right. You keep getting texts, by the way. Let's see. I got a stat for you. Jonathan Taylor leads the NFL with 4 rushing touchdowns outside the tackles. Meanwhile, the Chargers have allowed the most rushing scores outside the tackles this season.
Whoa, nice.
So
That's
watch out for – how about them apples? Taylor has 4 touchdowns outside the tackles.
Yeah.
The Chargers have allowed 5 outside the tackles. Let's keep an eye on that today in this game between the Colts and the Chargers.
Dude, nothing gets me going more than niche football stats. That's fucking awesome. That is niche.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I saw that on Friday, and I was like, this is a good one. Yeah,
that's a really good one.
I think you might be right. I am at some point. Okay, here's what's going to happen. I am going to eventually say I was wrong about the Colts. I was wrong about Daniel Jones, and then they'll go in the playoffs and they're going to get smoked.
No,
and then I'm going to say, I should have held on to my stock.
That's exactly what's going to happen. But I think this team's good. I just think the O-line is really, really good. Jonathan Taylor looks refreshed. And, he's playing some of the best football he has in his career.
Especially outside the tackles, am I right?
You're totally right. And then on top of that, the D's playing really, really good. And Lou Amarillo, fuck yeah, man. I mean, he's in his bag right now. I mean, it's good vibes for the Colts. It's injury vibes for the Chargers. Colts are actually an underdog. What? Are you laughing?
No, No, I mean, that was funny too, but I'm laughing. I liked the way that you said the good vibes and the bad vibes for those two teams.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, man, have we made enough about how strange the AFC playoffs could be in terms of the teams that are in there and just how it's setting up for Mahomes
Chiefs
to do it again.
I know.
To do it again. I was listening. Nick Wright was on. Whose podcast was he on this week?
God, he was
on. He was on with Bomani Jones, and he was talking about how. Yeah, it's very fun, and he was saying how he wants. There's a part of him that wants the Chiefs to go into Buffalo in the AFC Championship game and do two things: one, close down the stadium with another Chiefs win. And two, match the Bills for 4 straight AFC championships, which they did, of course, in the 90s. And I was like, wow, those poor Bills fans, if that happens to them. But I'm worried that it's setting up that way yet again, man. The Chiefs' offense is looking good. And we're not talking about their game versus the Raiders today. They're
gonna dominate.
Yeah. I looked that one square in the eye and thought about putting in my pick'em, but it's just so many points. But watch, when the Chiefs are up 21-0 in the second quarter today, I'm gonna feel like a big idiot for not incling that in my pick'em.
That'll be the mega overreaction on First Things First on Fox, which is Nick Wright's show.
Yes,
will be when Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy combined for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Correct.
They look absolutely incredible. And then everybody it's so funny to me. Travis Kelce runs a route that is a very standard route and catches it for a third down. People are like, he's back. He's so good. He's so skinny. He's so fast. He's still really good at tight end. I though, if I were a Chiefs fan, I'd be getting way more excited by Xavier Worthy. I still cannot believe that he fell to them in that draft. It was so dumb. And it was the Bills, once again, those dummies who traded the pick for them to get Worthy, which they can't help themselves.
Nope.
They gave him the pick to get Mahomes. They gave him the pick to get Worthy. It's insane to me how the team that you're always fighting against, you just want to, you give them help. You give them what they want.
Sad. So that's Colts Chargers with a little bit of Chiefs mixed in. Let's get to our games, Matt, next, and we can save, I would say, the other two ones that are really, really interesting for the end of our preview today. Let's start with let's start with my game. Commanders Cowboys should be fun to watch. Cowboys offense 3rd in scoring, 1st in yards per game. Cowboys defense last in yards, 31st in scoring. They are such a joke on that side of the football. And so I'd say this: if you are a fan of a team that is really looking for a get right game on offense, congratulations. Outside of the Jets, everybody has been able to get right against the Cowboys this year. I mean, I still can't get over, man, Russell Wilson having a career day and then getting benched 2 weeks later. That is the depths of this defense. Now, I will say this for the Cowboys: CeeDee Lamb is back. George Pickens is having a career year. He has 6 touchdowns on the season. He's been tremendous. The athleticism that he showed in some of the plays against the Panthers last week was awesome. I'm curious to see how good CeeDee Lamb looks today, given that was a high ankle sprain in the game versus your Bears.
He's coming.
Weeks
so
ago.
he's back. He's back for this game.
He's back.
Whoa.
Surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised.
I know he was trending. I thought it'd be next week he'd be back. I didn't know it'd be this week. Good for
That's
him.
what I
Good
thought
for
too.
Them.
And so then you have the Commanders that are coming off of a game versus your team. You just saw them in the that Monday night affair, and great analysis as always from Joe Buck on the broadcast there for ESPN. I loved listening to him break this game down.
Joe's great. Joe's great. It's just his tool of a partner.
I meant to say Troy Aikman there. What What did you take away from the Commanders through the lens of the Bears on Monday as it applies to this matchup?
Their defensive line is soft as butter, and their linebackers just aren't very good. That's what I took away.
Go Cowboys.
I think that their secondary actually did a pretty decent job covering the wide receivers. I mean, there were some tough plays that had to be made on the outside. I mean, Rome Odunze, the one touchdown that got taken back, like the way that he had to contort his body just to get open, like Samra still is like, they got him. He's really good. Like they have a good secondary. It's just, you're going to be able to run the ball today. You're going to be able to run the ball a ton. I was surprised that Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt did not have as big of a game as he did against the Bears defensive line. Especially because that Grady Jarrett was out. Now, I do think that the Bears D line and Shamar Turner, had a really good game. But I don't know. I wasn't overly impressed. I don't think they're bad. I think they're a solid team. This is interesting to me. It's in Dallas.
Time for the Sun, by the way, to deal with that. What's that head nod? What's going on there?
I think you guys win today. I think you win today.
What?
Like, yeah,
what?
I think that this is for both of the teams of like how much more stock will the fans put into your season after this game, right? Like
it's almost Cowboys, an eliminator of fan.
Yes,
it's a fan optimism eliminator.
Yes. Like if the Commanders lose back-to-back games that a couple of weeks ago you would have said they're going to win those games, I'd be concerned. I think Washington fans would be really upset and really concerned and be like, all right, what are we doing here? And if, the Cowboys lose, obviously you're kind of like, how do you lose that Carolina game and you're pounding your head into a wall because your defense is so bad. So I do want to go back to this point, though. Everyone's like,
okay,
oh, my God, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt can have a really big game. He could have a really, really big game against the Cowboys. He could tear them up.
Everybody can have a good game against the Cowboys.
But they said the same shit about that guy with my team who had a terrible D-line and who, let up a lot of yards on the ground, and it didn't happen. So, I don't know if you can do that 2 weeks in a row and convince me that, like, hey, this is going to be his game. So I think
but he's playing the Cowboys defense. It's the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, I know. I don't know,
dude.
Man.
I was showing you.
I like your team too much. I like your team too much. I have too much optimism in your team.
Love the offense. The offense is awesome. The offense is great. Do not say that about the defense, though. I just
wasn't overly impressed by the Commanders. That's all. You were showing me.
That's fine. Look, but you and I did overreaction. I was showing you my favorite Cowboys writer, Bob Sturm, because he does these great film breakdowns on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays offense, Wednesdays defense. The Wednesday one, I actually didn't read until Friday because I knew it was going to make me sad. But, dude, the way in which they cannot get aligned, the way in which the guys are reading things, I don't know what is happening on that side of the ball. So when somebody says they can have a career day, like the Commanders are down multiple receivers.
Debo's out. That's tough.
Yeah, Debo is out.
Terry's still out.
Yeah, so congrats to Luke McCaffrey on an all-time performance versus the Dallas Cowboys today. Like that, of all the things to be optimistic about, and again, I'm not. I think Commanders will win today. It would be that the Commanders have 0 wide receivers, but that hasn't mattered over the last few weeks. The Cowboys linebackers are trash. The pass rush is trash. The defensive backfield. Did you see that Trayvon Diggs apparently got a concussion at home the other day?
That is so dumb.
Oh my! Like, and your mind immediately goes to just bad places. Like, how do you get a concussion at home? Well, you're probably being an idiot, right? Like those are you're not like, oh man, the dog attacked him. No, you immediately think, oh, what was he doing at home? That was probably bad. So I think it'll be terrible. But hey, of all the things to say about the Cowboys, I can definitively say this. Our games are fun as hell, man.
They are.
That's the one thing I got going.
God.
They're so fun.
Oh my God.
So get ready for all the points.
I love texting you during the Cowboys games. They're fun because I like watching your team play football.
Thank you.
I think Dak is awesome.
I've been having a career year, man.
Dude, I've been a Dak defender for forever. I really have. Okay? And he has the second highest QBR in the league right now behind Daniel Jones. And I'm saying Daniel Jones having a great year.
No lie detected.
Like he looks refreshed. He looks faster. He looks more physical. His arm's a rocket. It's always been a rocket. Even when he throws off his back foot, his arm's a rocket. Like, I like him as a human. He seems like a great guy. Like, I'm just a Dak dude. And he has been, and I understand it. You play for the most notable team in arguably all of sports, minus the Yankees. And, like, they haven't had that postseason success. And so it's easy to make fun of him. And the last couple of years have been tough with both the team and with injury. But finally he is healthy, and finally he's got an offense that has a run game and that is blocking for him, and he's got weapons, and he looks incredible. And I feel in a way vindicated because he has been almost like a joke of the league. And if you actually watch the games, like you watch the games, you would know that it's been there the entire time. And he's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but his defense sucks, which is so frustrating. And I'm not even a fan, and I'm frustrated by it.
Yeah, and especially this year, it's like John asked me a question on a Sportsman Iconics recently because there was a Bill Barnwell article about, like, here's what every team should do in the trade deadline, and the Cowboys and Rams were not mentioned. And he said, "What do you think? What should the Cowboys do?" And I said, honestly, nothing. And he said, "What? You can still win the division." It's like, yeah, sure, but I do not want to give away any potential pieces to win the division at 7-9-1 or some shit. You know, like, it just doesn't. They're not going to make a run. Like,
sure.
I can't even talk myself into the best offense in football making a run because the defense can't get a stop right now. Like that. One more thing. They have to play at such a high level. I don't mean to interrupt, but they have to play at such a high level that, like, last week they blinked twice in the fourth quarter, and because of that they lost by a field goal. And it was like, sorry guys, the offense didn't get it done. And, like, that's ridiculous. The defense was the tire fire. But the offense, like, that's the standard that they now have is you have to score a touchdown every drive or you're going to lose the football game. And, like, that is ridiculous.
So here's an interesting question. Let's say they go 8-1 this year. Okay.
Wow.
They don't make the playoffs. You're obviously going to be upset about it.
Sure.
But can I interest you in being excited for next season, and with the hope that they will use a lot of the draft picks that they have on defense. And they will go and address the defensive end? Can I interest you in having optimism potentially for next year?
Yes, but it would require a couple of things. One, Eberflus getting told, you are bye-bye.
You could have told you that. Kidding me?
And then I want them to pay, if not, and do it however you have to, maybe franchise tag him. I want Pickens back. I want Pickens back on the team.
Yeah, you like Pickens. I like Pickens too. I think Pickens is
I can't believe how much Riz said it to me last week. She's like, "Wow, you really like him, huh?" I'm like, "He's good.
Well,
he's good, and it helps. It helps too. And it helps that he has a quarterback who can throw him the football. Like, he had a shit show in Pittsburgh, So, like, I don't know. I can talk myself into him not being a locker room problem because he has a quarterback who can throw him the football. But it's also mid-October. What happens if they're out of the playoff race in early December and he has 3 catches for 40 yards and another loss?
When McCarthy was winning all of those games, who was having a really good career? Michael Gallup.
Micah Parsons. Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You were talking on offense. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Michael Gallup was a really good piece for you guys. And he was a true number 2 wide receiver. And Michael Gallup, while he isn't like a game breaker, could go out and have an 8-catch, 83-yard touchdown game. And you're like, hell yeah, great job, Michael. Like, that's what you added with George Pickens next to what I think is one of the 4 best receivers in the NFL. So, yeah, look, your team, I think I would be incredibly frustrated if I was a Cowboys fan because your team is actually fun to watch. And it just all comes down to the fact that you just have not invested and not paid the defense enough. And you have relied on these corners who I think we all could have told you was kind of fool's gold with
so bad.
How many turnovers. Like, the turnover luck was real. And they got paid off of that and not actually off of, like,
and Micah Parsons
defense.
On the defense.
Yeah,
they had Micah Parsons, and they don't have Micah Parsons anymore.
Now they don't. All right.
So that's Cowboys Commanders. Look forward to all those points. Let's get to your game. Bears and Saints. Saints have become a very trendy pick this week as a potential upset.
Yeah,
People are liking the cut of Spencer Rattler's jib. They're wondering, should the Saints not even draft a quarterback? Should they just keep Spencer Rattler? And meanwhile, the Bears are coming off of a an ugly but a win nonetheless over the Commanders. I kind of think, what you said, what was the way that you described this, the Cowboys-Commanders matchup in terms of the fan optimism or whatever it was?
The elimination of fan optimism game is
now,
what
correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you agree with this. So the Bears are 3-2. They've won their last 3 games, starting with the Cowboys game. All of them, except for the Cowboys game, close. They won the last 2 games by the same score, 25-24.
I know, crazy.
They have the Saints today. They have the Ravens, the Bengals, the Giants. I mean, dude, you're looking at a nice little runway here before things, in theory, get a little bit tougher. Like, would you say the same thing about the Bears, where if they win this game, Matt McMaster is all in on, let's look at wild card stuff. Let's look at maybe division stuff if you want to be a real freak about things. Like, you win this, and I think that you are squarely in. You're going to be on the in the hunt graphic for the rest of the season if you win this game. If you lose this, then all the optimism of the last 3 weeks goes by the wayside, and you say, because if you can't beat the Saints, then who are you going to believe that they can definitively beat on a weekly basis?
Yeah. I'll disagree with that because I just think it's just the NFL, and sometimes you're just going to lose. Like, these next 4 games, they very well could end up be favored. Like you said, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Giants, the Saints. Those are the next 4 games for the Bears. I have no belief that they will go 4-0. I have zero belief.
It's like Nebraska in October.
Yes, they will lose one of those games, and it'll just be because they just came out flat and they didn't play well, and the other team came out and played their better game of the season. That just happens. It's football. It's the NFL. So no, if they lose today, it'll suck, and I think they will lose. So here's why this game is so much more important than the other games. This one is like the actual momentum builder, right? Like, if they lose this one, they'll have to win the next 3 for you to really get back around.
The mulligan is gone if you lose this one.
Exactly. Where if they win this one, great term. You have a mulligan, right? Of like, okay, cool, it happened, but they got to rebound. So that's why this one's a little bit more important than those 4. But if they lose this one today, I still will say, okay, hey, I think this team can beat, the next couple teams. It's the part of the schedule after that is way tougher though. Way tougher. This to me is the are you a different team game for the Bears. Are you a different team? Like, is there actual change? Is the culture different? Is Ben Johnson already in year 1 established, hey, we are a new Chicago Bears team. We are not the Chicago Bears of the past. We are the Chicago Bears of now. Because it's the Bears of the past. Lose this game, lose a ton of momentum, don't take advantage of an easy schedule, and then you go to the back half of the year and then you get exposed. Like, I've seen that so many times with this franchise. Way too many times. So this is like, are you a different team? Are you actually able to take momentum from a very emotional primetime win on a short week, get prepared, and beat a team that you are favored against and you should win? So it'll be bear weather today. Be great, 52 and windy. Tarps down in Soldier Field should stop raining in about an hour according to the radar. So it'll be a bit of a slop fest out there, which I'm a fan of. Can the offensive line continue to block, and can the D line kind of stand up to New Orleans? That'll be the 2 things I'm looking for. Man, Caleb.
I was going to ask you about how do you like in Ben Johnson and the Caleb Williams experience so far?
I think we just have to remind ourselves that he's in his 2nd year of being a quarterback. I think that sometimes with the criticism, while I agree it's fair, I mean, his expected completion percentage should be 72%. His actual completion percentage is 61%, right? So that's a big gap.
That's a good stat.
That's a really big gap. 11%. It should be, good quarterback.
You don't want that band to be that big.
No, it's a really big band. So he's got to clean that up. But I think that the immediate great quarterback play from multiple guys, Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, have kind of skewed the reality of what quarterback progression should actually look like. And so I understand that he was the 1st overall pick and people have high expectations for him, but he's still playing like a guy who's in his 2nd year of playing NFL football. And this is his 1st year with an actual competent offensive mind. So I think the fact that he has progressed and the fact that he has gotten better is encouraging. And they're winning games at the last second. Like, okay, man. Like I'll buy that. I'll buy that big time. Like 2 back-to-back weeks with game-winning drives in the fourth quarter to take the lead at the last second. I mean, like I like them. I like them. I mean, I'm going to become obnoxious if they win this game.
Let's go.
If they win this game, I'm gonna think playoffs. Like if they'll be.
And you should.
Full,
given how wide open the NFC is right now. I mean, both conferences are super wide open, but you win this game. And so that would be 4 in a row. You would move to 4-2. And
oh my God, man.
I mean, like, look, do I think you're going to win the division? No, but there's no reason that you can't be a 5th, 6th, or 7th seed. Like, I think you're certainly going to have to worry about the second place team in the NFC West. And then after that, like, who knows? You know, maybe the second place team in the NFC South, and by the second place team, I mean the Falcons. Maybe the second place team in your division. I don't think you're going to have to worry about the second place team in my division, you know? So win this game, look at that nice runway, and I think that that's how you should be viewing it. I love this.
I'm not ready. Matt. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this team to be good. This is like I'm getting excited now, right? And it's just this is the battle though of when you have been rooting for a franchise that your entire life minus 4 seasons has been a disaster, where it's like things are good and you should be happy, but you're waiting the shoe to drop. And it's a terrible feeling. And this is like the shoe drop game. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if the shoe doesn't drop, you're like, holy shit, maybe it won't. And
maybe it won't.
That is a very scary place to live as a skeptical human. Like myself.
Yeah.
So, fuck, man. If they win today, they're a 4-2 team that should be 5-1. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know.
Awesome.
If Caleb looks great today, oh my God.
All bets are off. Well, let's hope that they don't lose, because if they lose to the Saints, then you are going to be in a deep, dark place. Yep. And we'll be doing this, and we'll be sad every week. 2 games left. Let's start with the nooner. I would say the most interesting game in the noon window. It is Eagles at Vikings.
Yeah.
So the Eagles, they haven't played in 10 days because they played the Thursday of the previous week. So it's been a while for them. The Vikings haven't played in 2 weeks because they were overseas for 2 consecutive games. They went 1-1 in those. They lost to the Steelers. They beat the Browns. And so they return home. Still no J.J. McCarthy, which is wild that he has been out since all the way back in week 2. And a lot of people are starting to question things. What's going on? Are they hiding him? What's happening here?
Meanwhile,
the Eagles,
they're totally
You think so? So you don't buy, because I saw a tweet from Schefter like right before you and I started recording, where Schefter said something like, you know, this was always a 6-week injury, or it could have been a 6-week injury, and now it's 6 weeks in. And so basically, maybe, you know, putting some water in a backpack, putting it on his shoulders and carrying it around a little bit. Like, there has been some of that. And like, look, this is not to say that there might not be some legitimacy to McCarthy's injury lasting this long, but it just seems a little too perfect for all of these reporters to say, guys, I mean, the injury could have always lasted this long. It just seems to me that they are trying to hide him a little bit in this game. Meanwhile, then you have the Eagles, who, as we talked about, coming off of that terrible performance versus the Giants. I read there was a great breakdown by Deontay Lee of The Ringer on Friday of their offense and just some of the issues that they have. And I mean, if you want to boil it down, Matt, to like, why are the Eagles struggling? They have not built upon concepts of years gone by, so there's all this tape on them. And like, they have regressed on the offensive line. And look, I haven't really seen a whole lot of other people say this, but I see it with my own eyes. I think Saquon has also regressed. I don't think he is as fast. It's so obvious.
It's so obvious to me. I mean, we get caught up. Look, I love analytics and I love stats, but I also like to think that I can balance the what you see versus what you read. And like, it was a whole thing, and not to bring it to Nebraska, but it's like you watch Emmett Johnson, and I don't need to look at the box score to tell you that he just looks faster.
He's a better player,
Yeah, I don't need to look at the box score to tell you that just he does not have the burst through the holes that he had last year, which, by the way, he carried the ball 330 times, okay? He was used so much last year, and it's like it just if you look in past history of football, when a running back comes off of a season where they touch the ball that many times, 300 plus times, their efficiency goes down. Okay.
He had 345. He had 345 rushes in the regular season. He had 91 in the postseason. So you smash those two numbers together, and you get 436. That's not even counting the 46 receptions he also had, Matt.
So it's just like, yeah, he has taken a step back. I do think that Nick Sirianni, if you want to start making the argument that he is coordinator dependent, I don't fully disagree with you. You know, and then you have the whole AJ Brown, you know, being all. I mean, man, it's always it's when he's not touching the ball, messy, everybody fucking knows about it.
They are such like and like you see it every year. They're so good. They're so loaded with talent, but they are so messy. And sometimes the messiness, they're able to overcome it like they did last year when they're just ripping through the league. And then this year, when you have respected guys that are saying like maybe our offense is predictable, like. It matches what I think a lot of us are seeing when we turn them on television. And like, that's the thing is like I in the breakdown, it mentioned when they're under center, how it was just like, this is going to be a run. That's what they do when they're under center. It's like the fact that like a writer can look and say, hey, they're very predictable. Like, no offense. Like I'm a media member too. I know.
But
like that's a problem when we can watch it on television and see what's going on.
But look, you say that, but let's be real, and you agree with this. There's levels to this, right? And it's just like when you have people on the sidelines who have been in football in locker rooms drawing up plays, with around these players for 20 years, and then compared to us, we're not in the locker room, right? When like there's levels to that. They're just the fact that we can see that and we haven't been in those rooms. Yeah, you're totally right. Like it does speak to the predictability of like their offense. I don't know, man. It's just weird with the whole like. It just seems like the Eagles for this year and then 2 years ago, where it's like they are always on the edge of like collapse, like within the locker room and on the field, and it's like we never really heard the full story of when they went 10-1 and then they fell apart and lost that playoff game to the Buccaneers. We never heard the full what happened, but Jason Kelce kind of alluded to it on his podcast where he was like, yeah, kind of like that was a tough, like it was tough to end the year. Like there were things that were going on that were tough in that locker room. So I don't know. I think they lose this game. I think they lose this game today. Quinyon Mitchell's in the lineup, so that's really good. Jalen Carter is questionable. If he's out, that's going to be tough. Yeah. Zach Bond is back from injury. So they're not as deep as what they used to be. They just aren't. That's another thing.
No, yeah.
They used to have great depth, and they're just not. They're not there. So, but at the same time, Josh, they can turn the faucet on, and they can be incredible today.
Yeah, I think they win today. And so Chris doesn't. So she doesn't think the Eagles win. You don't think the Eagles win. I think they do because I don't like what I'm seeing from Minnesota right now, man. Like that's my problem with them. And Carson Wentz make it your revenge start and all those types of things. It's just like they have problems themselves, especially on defense. Mike Schaefer and we talk about it every week on National Fun League, which is available Tuesday morning, 7:45, right here on the I-80 Club YouTube channel. We'd love to have you watch along with us. So I don't know. I just keep looking at this game and saying, yeah, I know that the Eagles have all these problems, but I don't know. The Vikings lost to the Steelers a few weeks ago, so like, am I really going to pick them? Here's a couple interesting. We had nuggets. We had stat nuggets earlier. Philadelphia 25th in yards per game on the ground. Viking 24th in success rate against the run. So something's got to give in terms of running the football and stopping the run. Will it be the Eagles finally get going, or will the Vikings have another nice day? Or will they both just be mid as hell and it doesn't matter?
I don't know. We've seen this before with Philly. When it starts to tumble, it tumbles. It tumbles hard. It tumbles hard. And unfortunately, this season it's starting to tumble in like week 6 as opposed to the last time we saw it in like week 13 when they lost to the Cardinals. What was that week? They lost to the Cardinals on like New Year's Eve or something like that, or New Year's Day, and that was when
super late in the season.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, and the Cardinals were terrible, and you're like, oh shit,
yeah, because
this is real.
Yeah, like they had they had lost to they lost to the 49ers, then they got killed by them. But it was like, okay, but I mean, still it's 49ers. They lost to the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys, it's a rivalry.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it was. I'm trying to remember if it was that game or
it was that game. It was
because then they lost to the Seahawks on the road in like a really crazy comeback. But then the Cardinals one where it was like, oh my god,
and this might be that you lose to Carson Wentz. Oh no!
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Vikings definitely hiding McCarthy. So that's my take.
Yeah. One more thing on this too. Like that team, they started 10-1 as you mentioned, and so like the meltdown didn't start until after Thanksgiving. This one is so different because it's October and like everyone's been recognizing it. Even as they started 2-0, they had trouble with the Cowboys. They had trouble with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are that dropped Kelsey touchdown away from maybe winning that football game. And they were getting killed by the Rams.
Yeah, and then even in their win against the Buccaneers, where it's like the Bucs had a legitimate shot to win that game.
What did they have? That was the one where they had 0 passing yards in the second half.
Yeah, right? I don't know, man. Yeah. It's a weird team, but yet it's so frustrating because we always come back to man, if you look at their roster, they got a ton of talent.
It's so good.
It's so good. I know. Holy Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
yet
what
again.
it boils down to again. All right, what's our last game?
Last game, Monday night. Speaking of the Bucs, Tampa Bay on the road at Detroit. Detroit licking their wounds, coming off of a really kind of awful Sunday night loss. If we're being honest, they zip right down the field. They have the trick play on 4th and goal. They score a touchdown. It gets called back because of illegal motion.
Yes.
And then they have to settle for a field goal. And, dude, the Chiefs' offense yet again is – let me see if I can find it real fast. But they continue – they're starting to look like the Chiefs' offense of old. And I guess it doesn't matter for that. We're talking about Lions-Bucs.
Sure.
Lions, couple stats for you. Lions, 11-0 against the spread in their last 11 games off of a loss. So you start there. You say, okay, they're usually doing a pretty good job. Against that, though, Tampa, they used motion 62% of the time last week, second highest rate of a team this year. The Lions, they are good against motion, 4th most in the league. Or excuse me, they're bad against it. They're allowing the 4th most EPA per play against motion. So dude, like even the Bucs with all these injuries, like it's obvious why Baker Mayfield is going to win the MVP, assuming he keeps this up, because he's doing it with all of his best players continuing to drop by the wayside. I love this game. I wish that the Bucs were at full strength, though. Like that's the part that really matters.
I think that the Lions are going to win this game and win this game big. You mentioned the 11-0 against the spread. I'll also throw this at you. Okay. Tampa Bay is 31st in the league against play action in EPA. They are bad against play action, and it has a part to do with, and I love him, but their aging linebacking core, and they're just not great up the middle in just covering up those passes. So they're bad against play action. Who's the play action team in the league? It's the Detroit Lions. That is their bread and butter. That's what they live off of. They live off of just pounding the rock with Jameer and Monty, and then pulling it, and then finding Amon-Ra or Jameson Williams, more so Amon-Ra, way more so than Amon-Ra. So I just think it's a bad matchup. Now, here's the thing. I think the Lions win this game big against the Bucs. They play each other back in the playoffs. Buccaneers learn a lot from this loss. They use stuff against the Lions, and then the Bucs might beat the Lions in the playoffs. That's a long-term take by Matt McMaster. Short-term take, though, is I think we will all hop back on the Lions bandwagon after this game. And I think the Buccaneers, after a great start to the season, will have the, okay, come to Jesus. Let's back it up. Just a tad. Just a little.
People like hopping back on the Lions bandwagon. I think we can definitely say that. Recent history, these two teams have played 3 times since 2023. Let's see. Detroit won in the regular season in 2023. They won a great game in the playoffs in January of 24. And then the Bucs beat them last year, Matt. That was the Lions' lone loss for a long time. They beat them in week 2 last year.
That was a good game.
In Detroit. And so another one in Detroit. Yeah, I think that you're right. Like I like the Lions to win. I don't know if they smoke them in this game, but I do like Detroit.
I think they'll score a lot of points.
You think so? Yeah. I mean, the Bucs, like, as good as they have been, and Mike Schaefer and I have been trying to figure out for the last few weeks, everybody has who covers the NFL, who is actually good and who's the best team. Like, as good as the Bucs are, and I think they're the best team in football right now, their point differential sucks. I mean, it's essentially 0, like that, because they're winning all these they're winning all these close games, which like says something about their ability to find a way to win. Like I tend to think, and I like your long-term view of this because maybe we'll see this again in the playoffs. They just need to get healthy. They're going to be a team that gets healthy over the course of the year.
This is what we're gearing for. Okay, this is how I see it. I think we're gearing for the pushback, like let's take a back seat on the Bucs hype, and then they'll get healthy, and then we'll be back, and then they'll have a great game, and then we'll be back all over it and be like, okay, here they go. That's what I think that's where we're maneuvering toward, because I just don't think that this is a good matchup. At the same time, that Lions secondary is really banged up right now, and they don't have Brian Branch because he's a dummy. So that I think Tampa will score plenty of points as well. I think this will be a high-scoring game. I wonder what the total is on this game, actually. I'm not going to bet it.
53.5.
That's a lot.
By the way,
of
that's
points.
not the highest total in the NFL this week.
Oh, can I guess what the highest total is?
Yeah.
I think the highest total is going to be Cowboys Commanders.
Yep. 54.5.
That's so many points.
54.5 for an NFL
so
game.
many fucking points.
Yeah.
Why is it so many points?
Well, because yeah. By the way,
the tackle was lined up. The tackle's lined up too far away from the center. Are we going to call that? Are we going to call that?
No. By the way, the lowest total, for those who are wondering, a game we did not preview, but I cannot wait to watch just because of the weather.
Can I guess that?
Yeah, I guess I kind of gave it away.
Is it Cleveland, Miami?
Yeah, you guess the total. Guess what the number is.
36.5.
34.5.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
incredible.
34.5. By the way,
That's
the
awesome.
tickets, like Browns fans, good fan base, right? Like we all know this.
Oh,
tickets
incredible.
right now on Vivid Seats, no free ads, but that's who ESPN links it through. $11 is the get-in price because this is going to be a miserable experience. You can get 50-yard line seats for $77 for this football game because the weather is going to be so bad. Think about that, Matt. If you and I were in Cleveland right now, we could go see a professional football game at midfield for $77, or we could spend $11 to get in and sit in 60-mile-an-hour winds. God, I kind of want to do that. I wish I lived in Cleveland.
Let me see.
I've never said that word before.
No, you don't want to live in Cleveland. Cleveland sucks. You think Cleveland's cool?
Yeah.
I've never heard.
I've never been.
I want to go to Cleveland. I want to go to vacation to Cleveland.
I've never been to Cleveland before. I've never been. To Cleveland
$151 is the price for the Bears game. That'll be brutal weather too.
Really?
Still, I've been monitoring it the entire time. It's still raining in Chicago right now. And it's supposed to rain for another hour, which is actually now a half hour longer than anticipated, which I don't know if I love that game turning into a slop fest. I mean, because it was supposed to clear up, but there's more stuff coming. True,
Bear. At least you guys have really good turf there in Chicago, so that'll be nice.
What a disaster. Real quick, though, I want to get this out there. People, because I had to explain this to the people on my show, bear weather is not a tundra. Okay, bear weather is not like 10 degrees and snowing or super, super cold. That's
what's bear weather?
Bear weather is what this is today. Bear weather is anywhere from 38 degrees to 55 degrees. That's really windy with like some rain and mist. Like it's wet. It's a little wet, but not too wet. And it's windy. And it's like not so cold where you're shivering, but it's cold where it's like, I got to wear a coat. Like that's true bear weather.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's something to keep an eye on as we do these pregame shows this year.
Yeah. Bear weather isn't like, oh my God, it's -4 degrees. That's not bear weather. All right.
That's tundra weather.
That's tundra. Bear weather is like, all right, it's not great out, but it's not bad out. But it's like, it's
you're more annoyed than miserable.
Yes. You're like, why is it so windy? You're like, we have so many buildings. It should be blockers. Like I'm on the second row. I have this massive building, like literally this massive high rise. It should be blocking the wind. Why is it coming all into my face? Why is this happening? That's bear weather. Okay.
I'm gonna mark that. do that. All right, perfect. I got that for. I'm gonna give that to Nick Grimm, and we can play it as a drop. Why is it coming into my face? All right, that's before the witching hour.
Worst.
Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster with you. Enjoy the ball today. We'll be back again next week to get you all ready for Week 8 in the NFL, which I absolutely despise. I hate that the season's almost over. It's already almost over, Matt. This sucks. I'm just getting sad.
No, it's sad. It's not even close.
I'm getting pre-sad because, like, you're getting to the point where it's like college football season's more than halfway done.
Okay, so that one I did yesterday. I realized I was like, damn,
sad.
Like, there are
not great.
Like there are teams now who only have 5 games left,
including the team that we cover on a daily basis that is 7.5-point favorites over the Northwestern Wildcats. And we still don't have a kickoff time for that, by the way, which is getting annoying as hell.
It's a Peacock game, by the way, for sure. A Peacock game.
Ooh.
By the way, Nebraska 2-5 against the spread this year.
Gross. Absolutely.
Do you know what they are against the spread against Power 5 teams?
They are. It's 0-5.
Over.
Yikes. Unless you got the Michigan State number different.
That's a weird one.
Because that line was all over the place.
By the way, we've said because I don't bet on Nebraska games, but every line that's come out, I've told people, I'm like, this is a weird one. Like, why are I don't know why Vegas is so high on, like, they clearly aren't watching the games when it comes to Nebraska. They're just looking at the numbers.
Yeah. All the responses to my tweet today were, "Oh, this is great. Bet on Northwestern. Bet on Northwestern. Wow. Bet the money line on Northwestern."
Did you watch the Purdue game yesterday?
I had it on. They dominated Purdue much more than Minnesota did the week before.
They look good. I'll say this. I'll give you this little. I know this is a Nebraska thing. We got to go. I want to give you a little tidbit. When you do your prep this week, don't go back, watch Purdue game, whatever. But in particularly, go back and watch the first half of the Oregon game.
Okay.
Go back and watch that. That is incredibly indicative of what Nebraska is going to go up against in terms of the defense. And I think that first half for the defense in particularly was a turning point in Northwestern season. I think how they performed, how that defense performed there, that flipped everything for them. I think they were like, "Oh, we actually can be good." I think that was a big moment for them. So go back and watch that. That's my
little
Evanston
homework.
Matt, my Evanston Matt hat putting on when Justin Jackson, the ball carrier. It's going to be a tough week for me.
Yeah, I bet it will. You and I will be doing Bigger Overreaction on Saturday, so that'll come at some point in time.
By the way, real quick.
Yeah.
I went to Nebraska. I love Nebraska. Okay.
But
come on. No,
it's okay. It's not a big deal.
I didn't go to Northwestern.
Root them on.
No, they're my second team. This is Northwestern is my second team. And historically, this has always been tough for me because they always really do collide and their seasons really do matter against each other. And so
this one's huge. Nebraska could
every year
go...
Northwestern and Nebraska play, it's a big game for either of the teams.
Yeah, this one is particularly massive. So you and I will be doing the post game for that on 1620 The Zone coming up over the next few days in the I-80 Club. We'll have a Volleyball State live tonight for subscribers. If you want access to that, patreon.com/I80 Club. Jeff Sheldon, Lincoln Arneal will record that one at 7 o'clock. Big Ten Breakdown coming tomorrow. Let's see. What else do we have this week? National Fun League on Tuesday. Jack and I are doing I-80 Live this week on Thursday because I have a soccer match to do on Wednesday. So we'll be rolling on
hell yeah.
Thursday and into the next weekend we go. So stay tuned for all of that. And again, the kickoff time, still don't know it. We'll get that at some point in time. And we'll have your pregame coverage on Saturday morning with the coffee show. Matt, enjoy the ball today. Always a fun time.
That's my finger guns. Right. I was doing finger
guns. I thought you were going to say some words. All right, well, you know what?
I'm done talking. I talk too much.
All right, perfect. He's Matt. I'm Josh. Thanks for watching before the witching hour or listening later after the fact. We will talk to you next Sunday. Good luck to the Bears. Good luck to the Cowboys. And good luck to your fantasy teams. Not the Eagles, though. Bye-bye.